Welcome to Hapatra, Snakes on a Plane. Hope you're excited. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We're not going to be able to get down Phyrexian Arena super quick, but yeah, I like this. We've got Essence Warden to kind of negate Ancient Tomb and Phyrexian Arena, so we will definitely make this work. Let's lead off with Oran Reef. This is going to enter the battlefield tapped. Well, actually, yeah, I don't mind this. Let's go Forest, let's go Essence Warden. And then next turn we can get down City of Brass, and then go for Hapatra. Get some good snakes going on the battlefield. But yes, welcome. It's been a long time since we've done Hapatra. Let's go ahead and cover Hapatra, actually. So, whenever Hapatra deals combat damage to a player, you may put a -1 counter on target creature. Whenever you put one or more -1 counters on a creature, create a 1/1 green snake creature token with that touch. And got my music going. I'm going to get my music changed just a little bit. It's kind of got a loud song. It's a little bit distracting, so I do apologize about that. There we go. All right, sorry about that. But yes, we're playing Hapatra, getting some snakes, and we're playing against Teshar, which I'm really digging that. And which reminds me, I need to play Teshar. It's been a while since we've done that. So let's go City of Brass. And then we'll go Hapatra, and then we go for Cryptolith right for next turn. Or if we want to set up a Phyrexian Arena, we need to go and get this down now. Actually, I think I kind of like going for that just a little bit better. So let's get down right. That will be, unfortunately, 1 damage off of City of Brass. But at least we'll get that down, and then we can at least tap down Essence Warden as a 1 more black mana source. And then we can start getting some really good card draw going. Play against Teshar. Flying. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and if you're keeping score at home, a historic card is an artifact, legendary, or a saga card. An opponent's going to get down Lightning Greaves, so if we do have any sort of spot removal for Teshar, we're going to have to do it in response to that Lightning Greaves. But at least we're going to be online for a Phyrexian Arena, and then we'll worry about getting down Ancient Tomb to kind of pump out some of our bigger spells here in just a second. So we've drawn to Path of Discovery. Yeah, let's go Phyrexian Arena. Yeah, that's going to be good. So we go black off of Essence Warden. And when you get down right with a bunch of snake tokens, oh, that's some good magic. Tap down Force. Let's get that 1 damage off City of Brass. Get down Phyrexian Arena. Get down Oran Reef, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. That way, once we get down Hapatra, we can actually go for the activated ability, and we'll be able to put a +1 counter on Hapatra. That way, whenever we swing in, we can start to generate some of those snake tokens, and especially with Second Harvest. You know, if we can get a lot of tokens on the battlefield, maybe we can beat this this Teshar build with all these cat tokens. So we got cats versus snakes, which I am absolutely pumped about. All right, so we got Kimba swinging across for 2. That's going to put us down to 28. And then let's see what we hit off this Phyrexian Arena. Temple of Malady, and then Blooming Marsh. Okay, so if we go Essence Warden, Hapatra, that's going to be 1/1 counter. If we get down Ancient Tomb, we can potentially go for something like Path of Discovery. Yeah, I kind of like getting down Hapatra. Or if we want to set up for a good Explorer. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go Temple of Malady. We're going to get the Scry, the Scurry, the Fever. One or more create them. Yeah, we'll definitely put that on top. Let's get down Path of Discovery. And tap down Essence Warden. And the good thing about Path of Discovery is that once we get these snake tokens going... Sorry, Kiki. My cat's in my lap, and I was petting her head, and then I pet her chest. And she grabbed my hand like, don't do that. Why'd you do that? So anyway, sorry. But yeah, so once we get down Path of Discovery with these tokens, that'll be some really good way to kind of filter through our card draw. But yes, let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you want to get into Magic Online, if you want to get into Commander, they're #1 resource for you to check out. And to my knowledge, Magic Online is the only place that you can play Commander Online. So if you're thinking about getting on, if you've been on the fence, the card prices are definitely low right now, and it is certainly a good time to get into it. And shout out to inkgaming.com. If you're in the market for a custom playmat, use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order, and go back to help the channel out at the same time. And let's say that you really enjoy one of my thumbnails and you'd like to show it off as a personal use desktop wallpaper on your home computer. I've started to put a link down to the source image in the description of my video. And that's going to be it. Now it is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. Now, one thing that we would like to see would be some sort of board wipe, especially if Kimba gets a ton of those cat tokens going on the battlefield. That would be a good way to kind of keep it in check. A Devoted Druid put on a creature. So we get down Ancient Tomb. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to have 7 total mana. That's going to be Hapatra, Devoted Druid, and Nest of Scarabs. think that might work. Yeah, let's get down Ancient Tomb. And then once we get down a few of these snakes, that's really going to allow us to kind of get back on our life total. So let's go for Hapatra. It's going to be green and then black. And we're going to try to set up an Orn Reef, but I think if we want to go for Nest of Scarabs, it may not work out with that. All right, so we're going to get the life gain. Let's get the Explore going off of Path of Discovery. Let's get this popped up. We've got Crocodile on there we go. All right, so we've got Crocodile on top. Haste, put a -1 counter on target creature we control. Yeah, I think we're okay with it. It's going to work out well at Path of Discovery. Yeah, we'll definitely put that on top. They'll put another +1 counter on Hapatra. We're going to gain 1 more life. Let's go for black and then 2 off of Ancient Tomb to get down Nest of Scarabs. And I love the art on this card. This is so... I don't like bugs like that, but I really enjoy the art on here, especially that guy's just like, uh-oh. My Tuesday just got a lot worse. This is not going to be good for me. Let's go for Devoted Druid. That's going to be green. Yeah, we could set it up to where if we had 1 more mana, we might have been able to get a few extra +1 counters, but I kind of like this loadout. We're going to have another Path to Discovery. We can put a -1 counter on it if we want to. You get a couple snake tokens, and let's get that Explore going. We'll leave that on top. That'll make Devoted Druid a +1 counter. And then we gain 1 life. Okay, then anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So, once we put that -1 counter onto Devoted Druid, we can untap it. But since it's an activated ability, we can actually just kind of spam it really quick and then use a second harvest to get a few extra tokens, which I think we might want to end up doing that. So, we'll kind of see what ends up happening for us. But yeah, as far as this deck goes, if you've never played Hapatra or built it or played against it, you end up with a ton of snake tokens really quick, and especially once you get down something like Nest of Scarabs, you end up with a lot of just random tokens. So let's say we put a -1 counter on Devoted Druid to untap it. That's going to give us 1 insect token, then 1 snake token, and then we put 3 more on there. That's going to be a ton of tokens for us to go off of second harvest, and that'll really kind of clear the way for us to go with Phyrexian Arena and Essence Ward, and that'll allow us to negate some of this life loss off of Ancient Tomb. Now, as far as some of the new cards that we've added to the deck, I don't know if I've recorded this since Ravnik has come out. We did add Assassin's Trophy in here as just a really nice piece of universal removal. And then what is this? Oh, City's Blessing. Yeah, that's fine. And they're going to get down to Teshar. I also did add Vraska, the 4-mana Vraska. And there's another card, Path of Discovery, I think is pretty new for the deck. And I feel like there was something else I added, but I cannot remember. Oh, look at this life gain. I'm loving it. Now let's see if they decide to swing in, because that'll immediately be a -1 counter for a snake token with Death Touch. So depending on who they decide to swing in with, or at least maybe I'll kind of catch them snoozing if there's a snake in their boots. Okay, so we've got Snubhorn Sentry, it has a City's Blessing, we have Kimba swinging across. Yeah, I think we do that. I'm going to send all these cats. Yeah, we'll definitely put a -1 counter on Devoted Druid. If they take them back, we'll at least end up with two Death Touch snake tokens. We can grab Kimba, and we can grab that Snubhorn Sentry. And then once that does happen, that does put them in a position to where they can start bringing back Kimba out of the graveyard, but I think we're okay with that. So let's go for and this flips into just an activated ability. That's fine. So let's go for the -1 counter. Let's get that Nest of Scarabs, and let's get a 1/1 green snake Death Touch. And let's get some of these triggers on the stack. Okay, now do we want to put 1 more snake token on the battlefield? That will end up being a 2/2. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. We're okay with getting rid of Devoted Druid. Yeah, that's fine. So let's go and put 1 more counter on that. That's going to give us 1 more snake, 1 more insect token, and then just a little bit more life gain. And you can see by just leaving that crocodile on top, we're going to end up with some really nice 2/2s and then a ton of mana for next turn once we untap. So, and then poor Devoted Druid's going to go to the graveyard, but served its purpose, got us a beautiful board state developed with snakes and insects. And it's going to make any sort of Golgari person make their heart very warm. So, very nice. Let's go Snake, Death Touch on Snubhorn, on Kimba. And that's going to be them getting in for 6, which I think we're okay with. We mainly want to make sure that these go into the graveyard and they have to get some sort of way to bring it back out. So we're going to click OK. It's going to send Snub and Kimba back into the... Every time I say Kimba, I always think of Simba. Like it's the Lion King or something. All right, so we're going to Phyrexian Arena. We're going to draw into that crocodile. Ooh. Oh, and then Parallel Lives. Okay, so we go for Blooming Marsh. That's going to enter the battlefield tapped either way. And then we put a -1 counter on one of our snake tokens, or at least one of our insect tokens. That'll give us, yeah, so we need to sequence it to where we do have parallel lives down first. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Because even if we do have to tap down some of our creatures to pay for this mana, we're going to have a really, really nice turn. Let's get down Blooming Marsh. Let's go for Crocodile the Crossing. That's going to be 1 damage, and I think we have just enough to go for Second Harvest too, which is going to be really nice. Let's put the -1 counter onto Hapatra. We'll get that life gain and get that Path of Discovery. And since it does have haste, we can actually tap it for mana. Let's go and put a -1 counter on Crocodile, because with that Path of Discovery, we might be able to kind of negate that -1 counter too. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. You can see why this deck is so much fun to pilot. Now, I will say this deck is kind of hard to pilot sometimes, but you can see how nice it is once you get all these enchantments on the battlefield. Oh. And we'll go and put that on top because Soul Ring, well, let's go and put that on the bottom. Actually, I don't mind. Put it in the graveyard. And then Bane Whip Punisher. Enters the battlefield, put a -1 counter on target creature. Yeah, we're actually okay with that on top. That'll be a good piece of removal if they decide to shift Lightning Greaves around. Alright, so we do have at least Second Harvest. And I think at this point, what we probably want to do is simply just pass the turn. We could swing in with Crocodile. Man, I think we just pass the turn and leave up Second Harvest mana. Yeah, let's put a +1 counter on each creature that entered the battlefield this turn. That's going to make it a 6/5. And then, yeah, let's just kick it back over there. I don't think we have lethal on the back end, but at least with tapping down Essence Warden, Hapatra, and Crocodile, and Snake, that'll be just enough for Second Harvest. That's going to be a ton of life gain with Essence Warden. And we'll end up with at least 3 snakes. 3 more snakes, and that's going to be 5 more insect tokens. So now one of the ways that we do have to kind of close the game out, we do have the Anointed Shishiro, I think that's how you say it. I probably butchered that really bad. She's a snake tribal lord in here, and then we also do have Craterhoof, which is definitely got the mana for Craterhoof. So if we can run into Craterhoof, that would be just absolutely wonderful. Outside of that, that's pretty much we're getting what the deck wants to do, and that's just get a ton of tokens on the battlefield. So hopefully our opponent doesn't have some sort of Born Wife. Wrath of God would be not ideal. In fact, that'd get rid of all the snakes in our boots, and I don't think we'd enjoy that too much. But at least once we end up with a ton of tokens, we can really start pushing on Teshar. Now, one of the hard things about Teshar is that it's so resilient. You can get so many creatures out of the graveyard. It's just really kind of hard to stop that value, that repeated just kind of life cycle of not really just staying in the graveyard. But one of the ways you can beat it is by simply just swarming the board like this, and this is exactly what we've got going on. Okay, so they're going to bring back the Sentry back to the battlefield, Snubhorn Sentry. Get a dinosaur. Let's go and always yield to that Essence Warden trigger. But yeah, as far as Arena goes, man, I spent this last weekend working on a ton of Arena like overlay and deck tech prep work. I've got like 5 decks in the work right now. I've got Teamer Gates, which I'm just really excited about, and depending on when this video comes out, at least me seeing some sort of Arena content coming out sometime soon. But man, I'm really happy to start incorporating it into my channel. It's kind of scratching a magic itch that I didn't realize has been missing for a really long time. All right, so we have Teshar swinging in for 3. Yeah, that's fine. We have nothing with the reach, and that's going to be just 6 total commander damage. We can survive that. But yeah, it makes me feel like I just got into Magic again. You know, I brew up all these different decks, and there's just the standard environment right now is actually just a ton of fun. Let's go for Second Harvest. I guess technically we could hold on to it to cash it in for just a little bit more. We're not under any sort of pressure at this point right now to do it. Yeah, let's go for that, because we're not going to be able to close it out next turn. Because they've got 1, 2, yeah, we're getting to the point now to where they're kind of starting to muddy up the board with a ton of little cats. So we'll hold on to it to see if we can't kind of cash in a really nice Second Harvest. Ooh, Black Sun Zenith. Okay, so we Black Sun Zenith for 4. That's going to be a ton of snake tokens, and it's going to be a one-sided board wipe, and then we can Second Harvest on the Black Sun Zenith. I think that works out really well. Okay, so we'll get down Command Tower. Yeah, because Hapatra's going to see all these -1 counters go. If we put 4 counters on there, that's going to clear out the entire crew. And if that's the case, we might as well just go and swing in with some of our creatures. And that's going to be Black Sun for about 4 to clear the board out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that kind of does cut us off a second harvest. But we can still leave up a few creatures to kind of add a little bit extra mana. So, yeah, let's go and push in on this one. I'm okay with being a little bit aggressive on this. And then we don't have to worry about any sort of random activation with, well, actually, Spear of Heliod. We just won't deal damage with the Hapatra. Okay, so let's go and push in with the insect tokens. Swing in with the snake tokens, and swing in with Crocodile. And then we'll just leave up Essence Warden and Hapatra. That should give us more than enough mana to get in a good chunk of damage between these creatures, and then still use that extra mana from those creatures to go for Black Sun Zenith and the second harvest to kind of seal the deal. Okay, so we're going to get in for, it looks like 6 from Crocodile, and then that's going to be a nice little chunk of damage. Sorry, my cat was playing with some of the dice I had on the counter. Okay, so that's going to knock them down to 20. Let's go for Black Sun Zenith. That's going to be, let's add this mana with Hapatra. That's going to be double black. Double black. Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on the life gain, I think, from this, but we're actually okay with that. That's going to be 1, 2. And actually, if we want to, we can Black Sun Zenith for... No, we still need to go for 3, because it's going to deal with Teshar. That's going to deal with the him, and that'll still end up keeping our Crocodile on the battlefield. And that still gives us just enough mana to go for second harvest. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do that. That's going to be X for 3 on Black Sun Zenith. And this is going to end up with a ton of insect tokens and also a ton of triggers from Hapatra. Let's see what they've got. And they can destroy Crocodile. Okay, that's fine. Figured that much for the Spear of Heliod. That's going to be Black Sun Zenith. Oh. All right, let's get these. I'm going to get these triggers on the stack and I'll speed it up. And we're going to always yield to the Path of Discovery. We're just going to leave this on top at this point. On top. Okay, there we go. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We've got at least, I think, we've got 60 snake tokens. No, 60 insect tokens. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we've got 20 snake tokens. So, oh my gosh, did they... They have a board wipe. We do have Worldly Tutor. Okay, they're going to get into Macias. He's going to try to witness to all these insect and snakes, but they're not going to want to hear it at all. And so they get Lightning Greaves onto the snake, onto Macias. And appreciate our opponent getting out of Macias as he makes his last stand against all of these insect tokens. Now, we could go for a second harvest, but at this point right now, you saw how many explore triggers we've got. We cannot go for second harvest. That's going to... We'll time out. Let's get the Phyrexian Arena. And I guess if we wanted to... Well, there might be a fog effect. You never know. So let's just push in with the entire crew, because that's definitely going to be... that's going to be lethal if we're keeping score at home. Pretty sure that's going to be lethal. All right, so we're going to right-click Attack All. Actually, all of these cards... Nope. Let's go to the attack step. It feels so good just to send an entire pile of just cards swinging in. That's going to be 10, 20, 30, and we'll send in some more snakes. All right, so that's going to give us a ton of mana, kind of bounce back from some sort of weird, who knows, comeuppance. Well, actually, if comeuppance hits, that would not be good. But I think either way, if... Oh my gosh, this comeuppance. Oh, okay, so we got Settle the Wreckage. Okay, that's fair. I get it now. We'll grab a few more basics. And yes, we're going to use that ability. We're basically going to be able to grab all the basics out of our deck. That's going to be Swamp. Okay, we're ending up with a ton of basics on the battlefield, and then basically anything else. I think we're just going to go and pass the turn. So we did run into a Settle the Wreckage. They were able to exile a lot of our snakes. Thankfully, we still have at least double lethal on the back end, and we'll see what they end up drawing this turn. But I think if we end up going for something like Worldly Tutor, man, I got so worried that was going to be a comeuppance. I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good. Let's see what our opponent said. Where's the chat? Good game. All right, so opponent's going to scoop it up. Good game to our opponent. That was really nice. You can definitely see we're getting down something like Pair of the Lives, Nest of Scarabs can really amplify it out. Then the fact that when you get Hapatra on the battlefield and you just go for something like Black Sun Zenith, how overpowering that can be sometimes. But that's going to be it. There's officially some snakes into Teshar's boots. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.